Good day, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the program Kaduna Electric Watch. I am Faisal Babadia. In this edition, we shall bring you an interview with the head of unit operations, Aminu Aminu, where he discussed some challenges and the efforts the company is making to improve service delivery and many more. But before the interview, Asma Muhammad has the news update. Over to you, Asma.
Here is the news, but first the major headlines. Kaduna Electric MD assures NAV of improved services. And now the news in details. The Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Kaduna Electric, Engineer Yusuf Usman Yahaya, has assured the Nigerian Air Force of the company's continued commitment to efficient service delivery. He made the affirmation in Kaduna when he received the Commander 453 Base Services Group, Kaduna, Air Commodore A.A. Adedoyin, who paid him a courtesy visit in his office. Engineer Yahaya assured the commander that Kaduna Electric recognizes the critical role being played by the Nigerian Air Force in particular and the entire army forces in internal security, and the company shall continue to live up to its obligations.
We are committed and we want to serve you better. In the spirit of what I've seen and what the Nigerian Air Force is currently doing with us, that you continue to give us the room to purchase and deliver this electricity, because it's increasingly now a market-driven sector.
Yeah, absolutely.
With a lot of commercial underlay. And in that respect, then, as a marketing company, we're receiving electricity supply from some source, delivering same to you, around which we also have the obligation to be able to make payments on those services as we have provided. The history that I've seen, the recent history that I've seen, has indicated the willingness on the part of the Nigerian Air Force to keep this going. And it's really the ask that I have, provided that all of what we have heard in terms of how my colleagues are engaging with the Nigerian Air Force and what it is you're looking forward to us to do, we'll do more where it is that we have the capacity to ensure that as a customer and as a strategic partner, we continue to improve upon this relationship between us on many fronts.
The Commander Nigerian Air Force 453 Base Services Group, Kaduna, Air Commodore A.A. Adedoyin urged the new Managing Director to sustain the momentum while assuring that he will always ensure that the NAV continue to discharge its obligations to the company promptly.
It is very important for every user of electricity to preserve energy. The following animation shows how an electricity consumer can save energy. In modern world, electricity is almost the heartbeat of every nation. It serves as the catalyst for socio-economic development of every society. In fact, electricity plays a very important role in our day-to-day livelihood and activities. We cook and preserve food, power industrial machineries and our domestic devices with electricity. Even sophisticated medical, aeronautic, space research, etc. couldn't have been possible today without electricity. Although this energy might seem limitless, it is important we know how to conserve it. Like any other product with economic value, saving or conserving energy is necessary to bring much more social and economic benefit to the nation. Here are a few tips on how to save energy. Turn off all electrical appliances when you are not using them and or when leaving your home or office. Switch off all bulbs during the day. Avoid candescent bulb, use LED bulbs instead. Buy and use energy efficient appliances. Don't waste water, especially where you have to pump it from your borehole. Use correct size pot when cooking with hot plate or use natural gas instead. Let's all adhere to these tips. Let's conserve energy. Let's save our hard-earned money.
There is a value chain, really, from the generation, transmission, and the distribution, and eventually the end users, which are the electricity users. I must say that as a whole, the scenario is not really so promising as it is. It's a give and take thing. We supply this energy and we expect a reciprocal payment from the end users, which are the customers, the electricity users. Actually, what is happening now is there is a lot of indifference from the electricity users. It is quite unfortunate that people still think electricity business is a government business. But in reality, people should really sit up and know that this electricity is the backbone of development anywhere in this world. We as a company, we have been doing our own sensitization. We want the buy-in of the outside people, the customers, the enlightened people in the communities, in the societies, so that the general populace will understand that it is a give and take thing. And the service delivery will definitely and assuredly be improved if we have the complete buy-in of the customers. At the moment, like I said, this indifference is really killing the whole show. If the customers will really understand that you need to buy into this so that we can now give you better delivery, better service delivery, we will all be in business and everybody will be happier in this country. So here I will also stress that as a company, I know that as a company we are really doing well. We are trying to do the utmost we can in terms of sensitization. Customers are being sensitized, and the buy-in is coming in gradually. Our major problem perhaps is the fact that we have lots of rural coverage. Maybe there should be some more reach out into those areas so that the buy-in can be holistic. But at the moment, it's a touch and go thing. Number one factor we can tell you it is as everybody knows, in Nigeria we depend more on hydro stations. We have thermal stations as well, but the hydro, they generate more for us. And unfortunately, I believe some of the turbines, they are having problems. So generation is not really stable. We here in Kaduna Electric, we are at the distribution part of the value chain. Now, if generation is not there and the transmission, the wheeling capacity for whatever is generated is not adequate, for us here, we must have that problem of shortages. And there's also the issue of this banditry, terrorism banditry, because if one notices, virtually all the transmission lines we have in this country, they pass across jungles, bushes and jungles, and that is where these terrorists reside. So when there's a minor problem can cause a general lights out, because to go to that place and fix that problem might be a problem because of accessibility. So these are generally the reasons why we are having these shortages. The appeal to the customers is one, mostly cooperation. We require customers' cooperation to take this industry to greater heights in this country, in this franchise company. We need the buy-in of the customers in whatever the government has brought out. Do not forget we are a regulated entity. There are so many government regulations that are working with us. We work hand in hand with the governments. Now what we need is the populace buy-in. If the general electricity users within this our franchise state will cooperate with us, everything will move smoothly.
With this interview segment, we have come to the end of today's edition of the program Kaduna Electric Watch. Thank you for viewing.